Chiefs. The ball on the tee. We're set for football. And we are underway from Kansas City. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Right to the air is Mahomes. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 30 on second down, Mahomes toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That's good for 28 yards. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The Chiefs at 14-1 now on the year. They've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
A 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Heck of a start for him here, Charles, on this opening drive, and they're doing it all through the air. That's 4 snaps and 4 passes so far.
I do think that there's an argument, Brandon, to maybe mix in a running play or two, but the way that these offenses are constructed, you can get that done with swing passes and checkdowns. The way they're throwing it, I keep pressing it downfield.
Mahomes to throw once more. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Yellow.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. Got a man. It's Tyquan Thornton. And he is going to have the Chiefs first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Throwing now is Mahomes. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And the Raiders are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Well, these two teams met in Kansas City earlier this season with the Chiefs winning that ball game. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Carr throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jacobs. I see an extra defensive back on the field. A little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now Carr. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throw finding Thornton over the middle. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. From the 29, Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell them everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here because maybe
the football comes out. Jacobs lost it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close, and it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. A big play there for KC, 72 yards. The one thing that we know for sure, do not question the arm strength of Patrick Mahomes, one of the strongest around.
And that's how you start a drive because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce from 10 yards out. And the Chiefs take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Chiefs, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
While you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is because...
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Tyquan Thornton, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Jalen Watson dropped him defensively. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Carr. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And he fires one incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Mahomes going to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. Well done. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes caught. Kelsey, left side. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelsey with career touchdown number 125, moving him into a tie with Walter Payton on the all-time list. And the Chiefs have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick six, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. They'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. To throw, it's Carr. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, Carr. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 16. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He gets this to Thornton. Oh, he shifts past him. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 41. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Out to his left. And he'll just get rid of it. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Lots of incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Here's Carr. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. into the red zone. It's Carr. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here's Carr to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is now a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And my goodness, another interception. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. That he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So now Carr and the Raiders dealt a 3rd and long after that sack. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. The end result, 21 yards. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by David Long. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw his Carr. And he's got his man on the out route.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Carr going to go on 4th down. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 51 yards on the ground for him so far.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Carr. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Shaquille Barrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Carr, and my goodness, another interception. And the Chiefs are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. This one swung outside to Strong. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr can't get away, and he's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards.
And now here's another interception. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Carter hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded right around the 8. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And my goodness, another interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick six, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team.
We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. The Raiders on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. From midfield, here's Carr. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. DeForest Buckner able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Shotgun now for Carr. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A couple of first downs, has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Chiefs are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you can always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you express that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Tyquan Thornton with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Extra point by Butker is on target. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke. How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. He hits Adams, complete. McCarr finding his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first. Now Carr. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Throwing on first down is Carr. And my goodness, another interception. And the Chiefs will take over here just shy of the 30. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the...
He's got a man, complete. A big play there for KC. 62 yards. Patrick Mahomes, he can do everything seemingly, and that time he just reared back and let it fly. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Oh, a good move at the 5. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Mahomes. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the 4th quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort. Really well executed. Congratulations to them.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Chiefs are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
But Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, and a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
On play action, it's Mahomes. He's going to let it go again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier. He wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3 on fourth down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on fourth down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have fourth down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So this one in the win column for Kansas.
We spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat go ham, no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Pitch came to Jonah. Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold a million records, yeah. Used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double.